Animal body plans. What is an animal body? Features of animal body plans include the level of organization, body symmetry, differentiation of germ layers, body cavities, embryological development, segmentation, cephalization, and limb formation. As the first cells of most animals develop, they differentiate into specialized cells that are organized into tissues. A tissue is a group of cells that perform a similar function. Animals typically have several types of tissue, including epithelial, muscle, connective, and nervous tissues. Epithelial tissues cover body surfaces inside and out. The epithelial cells that line lung surfaces, for example, have thin, flat surfaces through which gases can diffuse easily. Tissues combine during growth and development to form organs and organ systems that carry out complex functions. Your digestive system, for example, includes all the tissues and organs, your lips and mouth, as well as your stomach, intestines, and anus. A muscle cell is contained in all of the alimentary canal, and it makes up the muscle, smooth muscle tissue that makes up each of the portions of the canal, and that together makes up the digestive system. The bodies of most animals exhibit some type of symmetry. Some animals, such as the sea anemone, exhibit radial symmetry, in which body parts extend from a central point. Any number of imaginary planes drawn through the center of the body could divide it into equal halves. Radial symmetry. 3 possible radial symmetries, but any of these would work. Any angle rotation would work, crossing through the center. Many animal groups exhibit bilateral symmetry, in which a single imaginary plane divides the body into left and right sides that are mirror images of one another. Animals with bilateral symmetry have a definite front, an anterior, and a back, posterior. Also, they have an upper side, a dorsal side, and a lower ventral side. During embryological development, the cells of most animal embryos differentiate into 3 layers called germ layers. Cells of the endoderm, or innermost germ layer, develop into linings of the digestive tract and much of the respiratory system. Cells of the mesoderm, or middle layer, give rise to muscles and much of the circulatory, reproductive, and excretory organ systems. The ectoderm, or outermost layer, produces sense organs, nerves, and the outer layer of skin. Most animals have some type of body cavity, a fluid-filled space between the digestive tract and body wall. A body cavity provides a space in which internal organs can be suspended and leaves room for those organs to grow. The germ layers for vertebrates and for insects. The endoderm is the yellow portion, the gut, liver, lungs inside here, protected, also protected on insects. Mesoderm, the skeletal muscles, kidney, heart, blood in here. Also muscle, heart, and blood in the insects. And for the blue, ectoderm, the skin, nervous system on the outside, along with the control spinal cord. And for insects, the cuticle and nervous system. The most complex animal phyla have a true column, a body cavity that develops within the mesoderm and is completely lined with tissue derived from mesoderm. Column is this space here. And this is a columate, the earthworm. Ectoderm, mesoderm, and within that is the column. And inside that is the endoderm, the digestive tract. Some invertebrates have only primitive jelly-like layer between the ectoderm and endoderm. Other invertebrates lack a body cavity altogether, and they're called acoelomates. Here, the acoelomate, the flatworm, has an ectoderm outside, mesoderm inside, and then digestive tract, a digestive cavity in the inside, in the endoderm cells. Still other invertebrate groups have a pseudocoelom, which is only partially lined with mesoderm. The pseudocoelomate is like a roundworm, and the pseudocoelom is only partially surrounded by mesoderm. And the digestive tract is inside that with the endoderm cells. Every animal that reproduces sexually begins life as a zygote or fertilized egg. As the zygote begins to develop, it forms a bastula, a hollow ball of cells. As the bastula develops, it folds in on itself, forming an elongated structure with a tube that runs from one end to the other. This tube becomes the digestive tract. Like a bead, it's a three-dimensional bead. This is a cross section. The three-dimensional bead with a passageway in the center. Deuterostome, the ectoderm, mesoderm, the top. Protostome, the ectoderm, mesoderm, the mouth is at the top. Anus develops from the blastopore. Anus develops from the blastopore, so the mouth and the anus on this fish. For the protostome, anus and the mouth develops from the blastopore, so the mouth develops here and the anus over here. So it is reversed. Deuterostome and the protostome have opposite ends as they develop. Their digestive tracts flow in opposite directions. The deuterostome develops one direction, and the protostome develops the other direction. At first, this digestive tract has only a single opening. However, an efficient digestive tract needs two openings. In phyla that are protostomes, the blastopore becomes the mouth. In protozoans, including most invertebrates, the anus forms a second opening which develops at the opposite end of the tube. So a protozome, the mesoderms form here, and then the anus forms at the top on the opposite side of the blastopore. In deuterostomes, the blastopore becomes the anus, and the mouth is formed from the second opening that develops. Chordates and echinoderms are deuterostomes. In deuterostomes, the mesoderms at the top, away from the blastopore, along the endoderm, and the mouth forms at the top. As many bilaterally symmetric animals develop, their bodies become divided into numerous repeated parts or segments and are said to exhibit segmentation. A centipede exhibits segmentation. Segmented animals such as worms, insects, and vertebrates typically have at least some internal and external body parts that repeat on each side of the body. Animals with bilateral symmetry typically exhibit cephalization, the concentration of sense organs and nerve cells at their anterior end, their head. The most complex animal groups, including arthropods and vertebrates, exhibit cephalization. Segmented, bilaterally symmetrical animals typically have external appendages on both sides of the body. These appendages vary from simple groups of bristles in some worms to jointed legs in spiders, wings on dragonflies, and a wide variety of limbs, including bird wings, dolphin flippers, and frog legs.